A body paragraph. Let's see. One example of where critical literacy can be used to understand an article is in A Change of Heart About Animals by Jeremy Rifkin. Okay. This article challenges accepted ideas about animals and presents an idea that animals are more like humans than originally believed. In order to challenge previous data, Rifkin must write an article to convince people that his information and ideas are true. Rifkin uses specific strategies that, for example, play with the reader's emotions. Pause. Let's see. Back to the top. One example of where critical literacy can be used to understand an article is in A Change of Heart. Rifkin uses specific strategies. I assume that thinking strategically is part of the definition of critical literacy that this person has, but I can't be sure because there's nothing in the beginning of this paragraph that explicitly links critical literacy with the ability to look for strategy. If this person could embed strategy into the beginning of this paragraph, I would know that this discussion about strategy is actually a discussion of how this person specifically sees one aspect of critical literacy working. Needs to consider that. Let's go back. Rifkin uses specific strategies that, for example, play with the reader's emotions. In one instance, the author is telling the reader about a gorilla who is taught sign language and understands several thousand English words. Now, with this piece of information, the reader may be surprised by that fact, although they have no further connection with this animal. In order to allow the reader to feel a more personal connection, the author gives the gorilla's name Coco. This strategy allows the reader to develop an emotional connection with the animal. Trying to appeal to a reader's emotion is an example of pathos appeal. I see this analysis. I see where this person is going. This strategy allows the reader to develop an emotional connection. How? I need an explanation of how the use of a name makes the person feel more connected. Right? There's a little bit of logic that needs to be embedded in here. Trying to appeal to the reader's emotion is an example of pathos. Okay, this person's had a course on rhetoric at some point. The challenge is, at the end of this paragraph, I should be thinking about critical literacy, just as at the beginning I was thinking about critical literacy. So how is this discussion about strategies connected to a way of looking at critical literacy? This person needs to add something into the end of this paragraph. In all, this person needs to get strategy into the beginning. This person needs to expand the degree to which they're doing their analysis. And this person needs to make sure that at the end, they're coming back to that notion of critical literacy. The person needs to embed critical literacy throughout this discussion. It's a good start, but it needs some work.